we have a birthday cat. We have a birthday cat, and he's in the room. He's not very focused. Well, I mean, he is very focused, just not on anything to do with stream. He's extremely focused on the sounds that he heard a little while ago. So I just have to bring up my my stream here on my phone with my other account so that I can actually see chat. He heard a sound in the closet, which is not surprising because that's where the crickets live, and also all the arachnids, but the arachnids tend to be silent most of the time. But there he is, the birthday boy. The birthday boy. What's he gonna do? You gonna lie down in your cup? There, he can lie there and focus as hard as he wants on the crickets. It looked like he was staring at the Watermarble cup. Yeah. Yep. He's such a good boy. Timony, everyone's saying happy birthday to you. Leo, you've been here the whole time? What, like, since the last live stream? You never left? You've just been sitting here staring at the screen for 2 days? Just finished Linry and Danny's stream, bow and arrows. Very nice, very nice. I was there earlier for a while, but I did have to leave. I had work to do. Yeah, it's his first birthday according to his adoption records. That's the date they have on file is March 19th. So, yeah. So he got double churu today. Normally he gets 0 churu. We do occasionally give them a little churu as a treat, but it's more of like, you know, if there's a special reason for it, we tend to save it for that. Remember when he got his surname Booperson? Oh, I sure do. That was his gotcha day, which is, August, I think? Something like that. It was in the summertime. You forgot I purposely had bugs and was very concerned I had a cricket infestation? Yeah. No, the only cricket infestation that I have is Timony cricket. Hilariously, we named him Timony Cricket and then very swiftly realized that he is in fact a mighty hunter of crickets. He loves to murder a cricket. And so, which is kind of great because our basement, we used to have just camel crickets year round, tons of them living in the basement. And then when I moved in with all my animals, then there's a different species of cricket that I use as feeders. And there's always a few escapees, right? Like they're very good little jumpers. And so as I'm unpacking an order of crickets, inevitably there's at least a couple that escape. And so, you know, enough escaped at some point in time that they started breeding down there. And so we had 2 species of crickets cohabiting in the basement. And my 2 old ladies are not hunters, at least not hunters of insects. They're actually terrified of insects for the most part, because they move erratically and they jump and they fly into your face and such. So they were useless. And Cinna didn't seem to have a huge amount of interest in attacking them. But boy, Timony Cricket came into the house and all of a sudden the cricket population in the basement was like, it decimated within a few weeks. And now we hardly ever see any of them down there. It's like, it's really rare to see a cricket outside of the actual cricket containment system in the cabinet now, in the closet. Yeah, I didn't actually say hello to everyone. Hi, Leo and Bow and Arrows and Najwa and Who else we got? We got Ashley. We got Belly. We got Sassy. Hello. Welcome. Forever Exennial. Hello. Yeah, yummy, yummy crickets. Delicious. I actually have to feed the crickets tonight. They need food and water. But yeah, in the meantime, we have the Timony cricket, who is staring intently at nothing on the wall. And tonight we're gonna do, I think, some water marbling because I'm in a collab. Several of you are in it. I'm in a collab that we do monthly, like, you know, like basically various different causes, kind of, or like, you know, national or international observances of certain days, whatever. So, you know, things like, you know, Trans Day of Remembrance would be the kind of thing that we would do. Or, you know, we did a thing for Black History Month, which I actually did. I used one of the manis that I did on one of the streams here. That's another kind of thing that we would do. And so, like, Earth Day, stuff like that. Which I've been co-hosting with Ashley for a while now. And so this month is is it on the 21st? It's World Water Day. So I'm doing a water themed water marble. We're doubling up on the water. He's clearly keeping an eye on the Greebles for me. I should be honored. I have 3 other cats to do that. Imagine being named after your favorite snack. Yeah. His other nickname is Pickle. Like, his actual name is Timony Cricket, but he often gets called Pickle. Hey, Heather, welcome. Hello, Linry. And hi, Indie Cryptid. Do I have a water-named polish? I think I might have like 1 or 2 in here. I'm going to have to look. But yeah, there's definitely at least one. I was not trying to pick ones that were named for water. But if we do end up using at least one, it would be a water marble. So fingers crossed for that. Your name would be Hot Cheetos. Short story long, I'm doing witchcraft today. I mean, there's no guarantee it'll be successful, so it may not be witchcraft at all. It may just be absolute fuckery. I did pull just a bunch of different polishes for this. I pulled a bunch of cremes. I pulled some shimmers. I pulled a couple of flaky, like 1 flaky and like a glitter. We'll see what works, because, you know, sometimes polishes don't like to water marble. Hey, Jules, welcome. So yeah, we'll see what works, because it's entirely possible that nothing will. But we're gonna try. We're gonna try. So I grabbed just like some cremes. Let me just yoink the cremes here that I pulled. To be like sort of the structure of this. And I don't know how well any of these are going to water marble. And some of them are probably going to require some thinning. So we can mess around with some of these and see how well those work. I'm kind of feeling like I want to do... So when I pulled the other colors, I pulled a combination of like blues and greens. Because I kind of want to mess around within those 2 colors. So I feel like doing a combination of cremes and some shimmers usually works best for me, but like I am absolutely not. I hope nobody's expecting me to be good at water marble, because it's pure dumb luck if I manage anything. So I'm thinking what I might want to do is start with like maybe these. I don't know about the white. I've got this that's kind of like got a bit of a sandy vibe to it, but like a glittery sandy vibe. And then I grabbed, this is Pond Stew from Cracked, which is the only one I think that is like specifically, oh well, Loggerhead Sea Turtle, that's water. What else we got? The Time I Sucked on a Lime, Nature's Fireworks, Little Bird, Arctic Sky, Lemon Lime Sorbet, End Times, Rite of Thorns, Never Trust the Living, Midnight Phase, Day at the Lake. There's a water themed one, and then Formula number 2. So we could try messing around with some of these and see how it goes. Timothy is on the move. Where'd he go? I've lost him. If he left the room, he closed the door after himself, which I don't think is possible. Okay, he's gone behind the chair with the sequin blanket on it. Yeah, ponds are a stew, ocean is soup. Exactly. It all makes sense. Yeah, so let's see if any of these guys are willing to water marble for us. Timothy is a ninja, it's true. Yeah, he's behind that chair, like between the chair and the closet. And I think he's just like hoping to be able to get his hands on a cricket. I'm gonna need to have my paper towel. I definitely had some cat hair on the surface of this earlier, because there's always cat hair on the surface of everything when you have 4 cats. You love the chaos of water marbling. I should uncap things before I get started. I often find it a bit mystifying, because you never know what's going to work. It's really difficult to predict. And so I find I don't tend to get too frustrated with it, but I do definitely wish that I could more readily come up with a reasonable scientific method for it. You know what I mean? Like, having a method would really make me feel better about things. I think starting with a glitter is probably dangerous, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. Yeah, the glitter was not the right move to start. I can tell. I might have to do a couple of rounds of just cremes and see if we can get it to get started a little better, and then add some of the glitters afterward. Like later in the process. But this one dried fairly quickly, for sure. Hey, Spooky Mouse. All right, let's try just doing a couple of rounds of these 2 crumbs. Hello? It's definitely going to help if I wait a super long time in between drops because one of the polishes doesn't want to drip. That's for sure going to be helpful. Okay, let's see if we can make some of these work. Oh, that one definitely does not want to spread. But maybe we can force it with something that does want to spread. You don't want to spread. You don't want to spread. Will you spread? Come on, force it, force it, force it. There we go. So this is sort of kind of working, but this gold color is sort of the only thing making it work at this point. I think both Pond Stew and this Kathleen and Co. are challenging the system here. So this might not be the best combo. Let's sub in some things and see if we can get something more reasonable going. I usually find with water marbling, I don't know if anybody here is like never water marbled. For me at least, I usually end up having to do a lot of like fucking around at the beginning to figure out what polishes are even going to behave, because they don't all. And sometimes it's a combination of polishes. I find a lot of the time crumbs behave a little better than other polishes, but that's not always the case. All right, so let's keep one of the 2. Let's keep Pond Stew for the moment and sub in a dark blue creme and see if that works any better. Spooky Mouse, I don't know if y'all saw Spooky Mouse's absolutely ridiculous, flawless Kermit the Frog Manny, but it is a goddamn delight. And if you haven't seen it, you absolutely have to check it out because it's so good. Yeah, I wish cleanup was faster too. It's brutal. Did I pray to Colette? No. That's probably why I don't do so well with it. I don't even pray to pretend gods or real humans. I feel like it might be the case that my Bring Me the Teal needs to be thinned. Maybe we'll just skip Bring Me the Teal because it seems to be part of what's causing problems here. So let's start adding that in. See if we can make this behave a little better. It does not want to spread once that gold goes in. It just dries too quickly. But we might be able to make it work if we end on gold every time. Maybe. It's at least reasonably working, I think. All right, now, does the gold... This is the other half of it, is can it be dragged? Because if it's drying too fast, yeah, that gold is really... it's really drying out at the ends here. So I can't pull from very far out. That's not going to work. Okay, so we're going to have to ditch this gold color, unfortunately. So, that's okay. Where is Spooky Mouse's Manny posted? It is on her Instagram. Did you also post it on Discord at all? I don't think I saw it on any of the Discords. If you didn't, I can bring it up on Instagram and show people. It's really, really fucking good. You should mess with watermarbling more. You made such a mess the few times you tried and got flustered. Yeah. I think you just have to, with watermarbling, you have to like just be prepared for a lot of fucking around before you get to something decent. All right. This one is not cooperating, so we're going to put that away. Maybe we'll sub in... Oh, you know what? What if we sub in like a white shimmer and then maybe a green shimmer? That could be fun. Let's try that. Let's try a green shimmer in there. You could cross-post Discord, but you haven't yet. Let me just bring it up on Instagram. And I will show it to you. It's going to take a moment. All right, so there's Instagram, and it is lavender lace. There you are. You've got some pinned ones here. Okay. So let me bring up screen capture. Okay. Here we go. All right. So here's the thumb, which is already just so good. It's all your favorite Kermit memes. I love them so much. I love them so much. Look. They're all so good. Incredible. Absolutely incredible work. It's really, they're so perfect. They're so perfectly done. And like, you know and love each one of these Kermit memes. Beautiful. Beautiful work. My favorite Manny that I've seen in a little while, I have to say. So yeah, if you're not already following Spooky Mouse, it's Lavender Lace Lacquer. And she does some real cute shit. All right, let's... Aren't they amazing? They're so fucking good. Yeah, some of them just dry too fast. Just like the gold one was doing. So you just have to fuck around and figure out which ones are gonna cooperate for you. And And I also find like often thinner polishes cooperate a little better than thicker ones. But that's not universally true. If they dry too fast, then they're going to be a problem. Whoop, that one might be a bit... Are you gonna... Okay, you're going. You're going. This might kind of work. We'll see. We'll see if everything actually stays wet enough. Who's causing problems there? Is that... Someone's causing a problem. Someone has dried too much. I suspect the white. Let's see if I can get that to open. Yeah, somebody's not cooperating. Let's see who it is. Is it Pond Stew or is it the white? Hard to say. I think it might be the white, but it might just be too thick. What about this guy? I'm going to put a little thinner in this. It's a little gloopy. Timony returned. How excellent. He does love his cup. That's actually the cup from Brian's office. I picked Timony up and carried the cup with him in it into the studio from Brian's office earlier. All right, let's see. Let's see if this one will cooperate any better. If I have to, I'll go to an all creme mani and then just add a topper. Because a lot of the time it is the effects polishes that are more of an issue. Not always, but often. All right. You know what? Let's leave Pond Stew out of it for the moment. So far, so good. Maybe we add this green. Oh, the green might be causing a problem. Yeah, I feel like it might be a bit of an issue with the green. Not wanting to go properly. Yeah. Okay. All right, I think slowly but surely we're going to narrow this down to some colors that will actually behave nicely. I promise. We can do it. If I wonder if this one would work. Or there's this Kathleen and Co. That could be nice. Don't threaten us with an all creme mani. Listen, I don't normally do an all creme mani. I'm not a fan of them, but sometimes it's what's called for. Especially with nail art. Sometimes you gotta. I do prefer to have at least some like shimmers or something. All right, let's see if this Kathleen & Co. I will turn this water marble around. I'll do it. All right. Okay. I probably shouldn't have done that way. Should probably switch those around. Whoop. Screwed up that a little bit. That's okay. Okay, let's do that, and then that, and then that. I don't really care right now if it's like wildly off center because I'm still very much in the testing colors mode. So it is completely fine if they do not behave optimally. Also, I do not intend to do like a standard, like classic water marble pattern with this, because it is meant to be water, not, tie-dye or whatever. So, when I do eventually get this, it's going to be more of like just a swirl. Well, it seems like it might actually be willing to work. All right. So I think this combo is behaving nicely. Yeah, this is staying nice for a good long time. This might be the magic combo. How do we feel about this color? And would we want it over? So right now it's like basically kind of over a white/light color. But I could put it over a dark base, which would bring out some of the like red and gold tones in that this one, the Broken Pixel Polish. It's got like at extreme angles, it's got a bit of an orangey kind of thing going on with it. So if I started with either black or dark blue, we would get a bit more of that as my base. It does look like a sea dragon. You're not wrong. You're talking about Glaucus atlanticus, right? The nudibranch. They're this vibrant, gorgeous blue with white, sort of not really quite stripes, but like contouring, like racing stripes. Yeah, blue and white. Hang on. Let me bring it up. I don't remember what it's actually called, like the common name. I only remember the Latin name. Blue sea dragon is what it's called, apparently. Let's open image in new tab and then open that up. Those guys. Yeah, it's kind of nice that it just ended up looking a bit like that. That's fun. The whole silicone gripper dipping. Yeah, I am going to actually dip my actual fingers when we do this. but it's easier to show the color on the silicone because it's the correct color, or at least it's a dark base. So do we want to do like a dark blue base then, or black base? Probably blue, right? Because then if I have any like gaps or anything, it's not going to look weird. So I could do my base in this, what's it called? Midnight Phase from Cracked? Yeah, Midnight Phase. I guess we don't get to, we do get to focus. Yeah, so I could use Midnight Phase as my base and then do that color combo, water marble over top. The other option would be to do something like the gold that we ended up rejecting, so that if there are any gaps, it kind of ends up looking a bit beachy, but I don't know if it would really work. You think blue? I'm seeing blue. Yeah, so pretty, but no touch. Those blue sea dragons, if you see them in real life out in the wild, you do not want to touch them. Like so many things out there that are beautiful, don't touch them because they eat I believe they eat a venomous coral, as I recall. Is it a coral, an anemone? It's something like that. Maybe it's an anemone. An anemone. Yeah, and they eat them, and they like basically take that venom and they use it themselves as what they weaponize it. They're washing up on the shore in Texas right now. Yeah, you don't want to be on the beach in bare feet in that case. Okay, so let's go ahead and get our base coat on then. Probably just do one coat, I think, because it doesn't need to be like super. Doesn't need to be super opaque or super even. It just needs to be like good enough. I mean, I'm gonna obviously try to get it even and opaque, but I'm not gonna like, normally, you know, there's like a tiny bit of unevenness in this that typically I would do a second coat if I was just doing the mani on its own. Or this as the mani on its own, but yeah, for this, a single coat's gonna be just fine. I should pour myself out a little thingy. Oh, I just got a lint. I think I can get it with the forceps. Come on. Oh, I got one, and there's a second tiny one. I don't think I'm going to worry about the tiny one because it's like 1 millimeter long. It's fine. Okay. Yeah, I sadly never made it to the ocean in Texas when I was there. I spent some time in Houston, did a little camping in Northeast Texas, but I never made it out. We were supposed to go to Corpus Christi, but never ended up going. And oh my God, that is my water and not my acetone. Jesus Christ. I just did the thing. I dipped my goddamn brush in my water. Don't do that. Don't ever do that. It's not good. It's not good for the brush. Okay. Not that you can't switch back and forth, but you have to clean thoroughly in between. But yeah, we talked about going to Corpus Christi, we talked about going to Galveston, and we just never made it out there. Jellyfish. That's right. It's the Portuguese man of war that they eat. Thank you. I was like, I can't remember what the hell they eat. They eat something. They eat something and steal the venom. Corpus Christi is really nice. I've heard mixed things about it. Like, I've heard that it's really nice, but I've also heard that, like, because it's so touristy, there's, like, you know, depending on where you are, it can be really awful. Especially at certain times of year. So like you really want to avoid it for spring break and things like that if you're not a spring breaker. But I feel like that's true of any kind of like, you know, beach city. Child is down and you have popcorn. Huzzah! You really needed the popcorn for the first part of the stream where I was working out what colors I was going to use in my water marble. But you know, I'm sure that there'll be plenty of opportunity for me to fuck up some more. Where's Matagorda? I don't know Matagorda. If I'm saying that incorrectly, it's because I've never heard of it. Doing such a good job here. It's okay. It doesn't really matter. You went with family and their family friend who lives over that way. One day was kind of busy, but the rest wasn't too bad. Yeah, I'm sure it really depends, like, what time of year you go and, like, you know, dates and time of day and things like that are going to make a huge difference, I'm sure. Why fireworks today? I don't know. Matagorda is north of Corpus, but south of Houston. All right. Yeah, I basically spent most of my time that I was there in Houston and Sugar Land. Because I was dating a guy who was from there and his folks lived in Sugar Land. And his mother taught me to crochet on a camping trip in the, like, there's like a scrubby, like, pine barren kind of region. I think is in northeast. It's like northeast of Houston somewhere. Like in the northeast of the state. And yeah, we went camping there and she taught me to crochet and I crocheted a toque and a scarf. Which is a very silly thing to be crocheting. I felt very silly crocheting winter gear in the middle of this scrubby sort of almost deserty kind of region. That was the first time I ever saw a scorpion in real life, actually. There were scorpions around there. They were really cute. Yeah, I've never heard of Eid fireworks before, but maybe. Does anyone do fireworks for? I don't think so. I don't think that's really a thing. You've had a scorpion in your house. I have multiple scorpions in my house right now. It's a little different though, I guess. I brought mine in on purpose. I'm guessing yours just wandered in. This is a thing that they will do if you live in the right region. Yeah, to pick it up with tongs and toss it. Yeah. Yeah. That is a thing in those areas. All right, let's go. Let's fucking go. I'm really hoping that these behave as well as they did on the test run. So far, so good. Yeah. If only I would behave as well as I did in the test run. Alas. This is what happens when you let me be in charge of something. It's okay. It's, you know, it's not supposed to be the classic kind of water marble. As already stated, we are doing just a swirly thing, so it's going to be just fine. Won't even notice by the time we're done swirling everything. I'm confident. I'll probably do it reasonably dense and do 2 fingers at once. Maybe 1 more round. Maybe 2 more rounds. I don't know. I don't want to let the outside parts dry too much, so I'm going to be careful with that. Let's call it here. And I think we're just going to go like this. And then all right, here we go. We're raw dogging it, guys. We're raw dogging it. Here we go. Y'all know I do not believe in liquid latex. It's against my religion. The boys want out. Gotta get those boys out. Woohoo, raw dog. All right. Set this aside for a moment. Do a little cursory cleanup. At least get the bulk of it off. We'll do most of it after. I'm not going to worry about doing it too carefully right at the moment. Just get most of it off, and then we'll go in with a brush later. Oh, look at that! I got some of that gold stuff down there. Great. All right. Oh boy, delicious. Delicious. I got some bubbles on this nail here. Yeah, shit. All right, well, I guess I'm doing some kind of nail art over top of it because I just fucking gouged that finger. You see that? Like a serious gouge. Damn it. I might have to do some kind of nail art over top. I was debating anyway, maybe doing like something, but I hadn't really thought of anything that I would like over it, so I had kind of half abandoned the idea, but now we might need to think of something. I already painted the phrase "water is a human right" on my nails on a different mani not that long ago, so I don't really want to repeat that. Yeah, it is really weird that there's fireworks going there. Especially like on a Thursday night. It is very strange. And there is a fairly large Muslim community there, but I've not known them to set off fireworks. So it seems weird. All right. Could we do Mana War? Oh, maybe. Someone posted Tromp in the Discord. Bubbles could happen. Someone posted Tromp in the Discord. Since Peggy is gassing me up, here is my oops all Kermits Manny. Good job. Yeah, so if you're in my Discord and you wanted to get a better look at Lori's Kermit Manny, then go take a look there. I don't know which Discord the Shrump got posted in. Is that in Nicole's Discord or somewhere else? Which Discord is that in, Jules? Too many Discords. Okay. Something with Lent? I don't know. I don't know anything about Lent, except that you give something up for it. In stream suggestions. In mine? I don't see a new... Interesting. Oh, yeah, no, that was... I saw that earlier. Yes, that's why it wasn't. I was confused because I had already seen it. I thought you meant something new. Yes. The fat Shromp that looks like a Daphnia. Very cute. Yeah, Fat Tuesday I would maybe see it, but not for Lent. It feels weird. Maymay, you're here with wet henna hands. Your henna hands look beautiful, or at least the one that I saw looked beautiful. I assume that the other hand is equally beautiful. Very likely somewhat symmetric. Maybe we can ask Maymay if anybody ever, if that's like a thing that the Muslim communities have taken up, is fireworks. Poor Ray is dealing with just an excess of fireworks, and we can't figure out why, because there's nothing to explain it in that region, except that they have a large Muslim population. But like I said, it's not a thing that I've ever heard of being associated. Thick Thursday instead of Fat Tuesday, yeah. It's very funny. I really managed to get a little offside in that one. That's okay. Again, it's not going to matter in the end because we're just doing swirlies. We just swirling. I assume y'all can hear my camera making those ridiculous noises that it makes when it's constantly autofocusing. I hope that it's not too annoying. The microphone is like directly in front of it, but I think it's at least relatively directional. So I don't think that it should be picking up too much. Let's see. Let's just go like this. There we go. I like that. I think I'm going to use this area in here for these two nails. Yeah, the camera's going wild. Hopefully it's not too annoying. Yeah. Noise is fine though? Okay. Yeah, no, that's what I thought, May. I was like, I've never heard of that being a thing, but like, I don't know what else, because there's nothing else going on right now in that region that I'm aware of that would make it, you know, obviously a time to set off a bunch of fireworks. Sounds like birds chirping. Interesting. Videos or nail art videos or anything like that. I started out without a microphone, and so the microphone on the camera was the only microphone. And the volume of that fucking autofocus was wild. Like, it was so loud at that point. Like, it was hard to hear me over it. So I had to get a microphone for streaming. As soon as I started streaming on YouTube, I was like, this is going to have to be a thing. There is no way that I can stream on YouTube with that. I mean, I could lock focus, but then I would have to deal with constantly adjusting the height of my hands, which is also not fun. Although maybe less annoying for the audience. I don't know. Did anyone else get buffering though? Yeah, everybody's buffering. Great. Love that for y'all. I guess I had an internet hiccup. My apologies. I probably need to hardwire myself in here. I have not done so because mostly it seems to be okay. There have been a few times I've had a bit of buffering, but it doesn't seem to be like an enormous problem. It's more like there's a bit of a delay on like for chat, everything's a bit of a delay. But yeah, it hasn't been bad enough to go to all the trouble of hardwiring yet. We'll see. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's inevitable. It's going to happen sometimes. Even if you're hardwired, it can happen sometimes, so. Ah, shit. All right, well, that was interesting. Did y'all see that? It actually blooped below the surface of the water and then bounced back up and then took a moment and then exploded open. It was a very interesting process. Yeah, so I could do like, I don't know, I could do like a jellyfish. Maybe I could do a glaucus on that nail that got real badly bumped. That could be maybe kind of cute, although it would be hard to do. But, you know, when does that ever stop me, right? Jellyfish would definitely be easier, which might be a better choice in the interest of time. I was originally thinking about, you know, various aspects of water as it interacts with or intersects with human industry and survival needs, agriculture, like, you know, and thinking about, is there a way that I can express something important about water with my Manny? And I felt so overwhelmed about it. I was like, there's too much. It's too important. So I decided that instead of trying to do that in the Manny, I would just do it in the caption instead. So when I post this Manny, it's going to be a little bit of a rant in the caption. But you know, I think that's okay. Sometimes you gotta rant, you know? And me, I gotta rant pretty frequently. What area do I like? Kind of digging this spot right here. I just friggin' swear to God if I dinged that nail. All right. Okay. It had dried enough that it did not get fucked up. I hit this nail slightly. I was going to be very annoyed with myself for dinging a second nail. But it's okay. It's okay. Nobody panic. It's just an ordinary day. I just wiped it a little bit. So, you know, never mind dinging that other finger. I'll just go ahead and friggin' mush my thumb instead while I'm worrying about the other finger. Perfect. You know, if I didn't ding everything and fuck up, you wouldn't know it was me. As a kid, you lived in China and it would be a full 10 seconds delay on phones and webcam with your family in the States. Yeah. Yeah. That used to be a thing. Sea turtle for contrast. That could be cute. You worked in IT before medical retirement and your husband still does, so you totally understand no matter what you do, you'll never have zero buffering or issues. It is so true. There's always going to be something. You can try to just minimize it as much as is reasonable for you. And yeah, at some point in time, I probably will want to go ahead and hardwire things here. But, you know, we plan to do some electrical work in the house and the carpets have got to come up and like there's just a ton of work that needs to happen on the house. And so it would make sense rather than trying to run something now, which would be, you know, on a fairly long cable going through multiple doorways. It makes more sense to hold off and just run something through the wall and actually have an outlet here. We need more power outlets as well. Everywhere in the house, basically. Life is too infuriating not to rage at injustice. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so sea turtle could be a thing. Jellyfish could be a thing. I think either way, I want to do it's sort of sticker style, so with like a white outline, because that is going to significantly help with I should just sort of clean this up and then I don't have to worry about it later. I can just toss this. What was I saying? Yeah, I want to do it like with a white outline so that it really pops against the water marble background. Because there's really no color that you can choose that is going to be like a reasonable color that will stand out, unless you literally just outline it with this kind of thing, because it's such a complex background. And I definitely want to make sure that it's whatever I'm putting on here is very readable. I'm sorry that the fireworks are back, Ray. It's incredibly frustrating. I hope that your dogs don't struggle too much with fireworks, because I know that can be a huge problem for a lot of dogs, a lot of pets in general. I'm very lucky. Jamie and Budgie have always been like incredibly blasé about loud noises, like weirdly blasé to the point where I'm like, you would have died in the wild immediately. You would have been like, oh, what's this giant thing that explodes every 3 minutes? I'm going to climb on top of it and find out what's going on with it. They're such idiots. But it was definitely handy living downtown Toronto with cats that are extremely chill about noise. And the only time they ever really even reacted at all to fireworks was the occasional time that it was like really close, and even then they would just kind of be like a little bit startled, and then it would fade into the background for them and it would be fine. You're lucky your dogs don't care about thunderstorms or loud noises. They get concerned if they hear something falling or the fire alarm. That makes sense. Fire alarm is scary. Budgie used to, that was the one exception, is the fire alarm. Budgie used to just like immediately hide under the like very center of the bed, which is a king size bed. So there was no way that I could reasonably drag her out. Like I couldn't, there was nothing I could do. It was too heavy. The bed was too heavy for me to lift and too low for me to crawl under. And so if she got to the bed before I could grab her when the alarm went off, all I could do was just leave her and hope that it wasn't a real fire. Or that if it was, it didn't affect my unit. And that the one apartment that we lived in, oh God, it was one of those places where the fire alarms are constantly going off. So it just got to the point where I would grab Jammy Dodgers and just put her in my sweater and leave Budgie and head out. Willow barks if a gnat farts 3 miles away, but she's absolutely zero fucks given about fireworks. She's not a dog, though. She's a willow. That's valid. Some animals just defy all of the usual stereotypes about them, and I think that can be kind of delightful when you have a pet like that. Wicket barks at the sky but trembles at beeps. Aw. Beeps are scary. You never know what beeps are gonna be. Beeps could be something fun or something terrifying. Yours hides too. You've thought about putting something under the bud to block her from running. Yeah, I considered doing that as well, and then just never got around to it. Every time it happened, I'd be like, I really need to block that thing off so that she can't do that anymore. And then by the time I had an opportunity to buy something, I'd forgotten about it. Yay. My brain is so good at things. What's that you say? I should have written it down? Yeah, sure. I should have written it down. Would I have remembered that I wrote it down? Would I have remembered to look to see whether I had written something down? The only things like that ever work for me are like super aggressive reminders with multiple alarms. And even then, like, so we have these shared calendars, Brian and I, which I've ranted about the update reminder system a couple of times, but they're mostly very handy. But there's certain things where, like, if the chore doesn't get done on a given day for whatever reason, Brian will move it to the next day, which works fine for him. And he will get around to it, usually before too much time has gone by. But for me, because he's always moving the chore to the next day, I never have to look at the reminder for the chore or like think about the chore or deal with the chore in any way. And so I will just continue forgetting it pretty much indefinitely. Unless something else interrupts my flow and reminds me that I need to do it. So yeah, it's a problem. So I just do things at random times as I remember to do them, and inevitably forget to update the calendar. And Brian just pushes those reminders to the next day. Day after day. And I'm like, oh yeah, I did that a couple of days ago. Doesn't need to be done again until next week. Am I going to remember to adjust it myself or tell him or anything? Nope, probably not. Just make a mental note of it. It's like, okay. He has an excellent set of coping mechanisms and systems for dealing with his ADHD, like a really robust system that works amazingly well for him. He's perhaps the most functional, unmedicated ADHD person I've ever met in my life. Which is not to say that you can't tell. You can tell. But still, he's very effective for being unmedicated, and unfortunately, his system does not in any way, shape, or form work for me. It's not good. It's not good for me. He's always surprised because he's like, "But I did the thing. I put it in the calendar. I put the reminder. I did the thing correctly." And I'm like, "Hey, you did the thing correctly for you." My systems look like putting the thing I need to deal with physically in a spot where I will be forced to deal with it or I will be dreadfully inconvenienced. And that's the only thing that works for me. So like if I need to refill the bin that I keep, the bucket that I keep the extra litter in for refilling for upstairs, because I don't like to haul the whole bag upstairs, I pour some into a little plastic bucket. And then I just take the bucket downstairs when it's empty, take it down to the basement, fill it up, and then bring it back upstairs again. Well, if it's empty at night right before I go to bed. So I have to put it at the top of the stairs in a spot where I'm definitely going to see it in the morning, bring it downstairs with me. and then put it in the next inconvenient spot on that landing until I go down to the basement or like, you know, see it there and remember it. And I will get it done that way. But Brian will helpfully move things out of my way. He'll be like, well, it was in the way, so I moved it. I'm like, that was on purpose, though. But it was on purpose. I needed it to be in the way. But it was in the way. Yeah, I know, that's the point. My system is not as effective for him. Yeah, I need reminders, and I also hate reminders. It's so real. But it's the same thing where, like, I really need structure, and I really hate structure. I really need to be given tasks, and I really hate to be given tasks. It's just like all the things that are the most effective for me are things that I fucking hate, and I absolutely will resent. So, it's good. Yeah, you put the trash in your way in front of the door, and then you can't not do it because it's right fucking there and it's in your way. But if it's off to the side, how are you gonna remember to do it? You're not. Yeah, structure is difficult when you have partners that don't work with your structure. And like, Brian and I both have our very different systems that we have come up with over our lifetimes of dealing with our specific neurodivergencies. And, you know, his work really well for him and mine kind of work for me. And we just, we have to be careful to not get in the way of each other's systems sometimes. All right, I'm almost done with my cleanup here. I'm just trying to get as much blue out of this, out of the nail fold here as I can, because oh boy, does it ever love to get in there and stay there. So I'm sure this part is like super interesting for y'all to watch, but okay. All right, so we have one real good gouge right here. We have some bubbles here. And like a weird little lump. Don't know what that's from. Must have been like a little air pocket or something. We'll just gonna go ahead and like kind of melt that a little bit. There we go. Do that one as well. And then how are these ones looking? This one looks okay. This one looks okay. The thumb has a little swipe down at the bottom here, but it's not bad. I don't think it's very noticeable. So I think it's mostly these two nails that I want to do some kind of art on. And like this nail, maybe I could just use those spots and like actually paint bubbles. The child just did something. There might have been a cricket. I think there might have been a cricket. I think he's seen a cricket. Timothy, what did you see? Did you see a cricket? I think he's hunting a cricket. Cricket found a cricket. Cricket found a cricket. Cricket found a cricket. Yes, that song pops into my head relatively frequently. Just gonna do a little oil here around the edges. Try and slightly counteract some of that. Even though I did have the acetone antidote in that, it was a lot more than I usually A lot more acetone than I normally have on my skin, so things are a little dry there. You also started doing the song? There's just sort of constant songs happening in my brain. Well, sir, did you find it? Yeah? Did you get it? Or did it get away? I think it might have gotten away. This a good boy. Yeah. What a good baby boy. Oh, he's so cute. All right. Yes, Mario and the Pipes Underground song. Oh, I hear the cricket. I just heard it sing. All right. Yeah, we definitely have an escapee in the room that he has not yet murdered. So, yeah, I'm thinking maybe... So I could do, if I wanted to do two different animals, I could do like a sea turtle and a jellyfish. Or I could do a jellyfish here and then bubbles. And I kind of like that idea. I feel like a jellyfish could be fun. It would be hard to do the sticker style with. Not impossible, though. I don't know. What do we think? Any other thoughts before I start on the next phase? I'm going to go ahead and do top coat. So that I'm like ready to go when we've figured out what I'm doing exactly. Glaucus atlanticus I could do. I could definitely do that on one of the nails. I would have to do a slightly simplified version, but that's going to be true of anything that I do, really, so... Jellyfish and bubbles. What type of jellyfish? Moon jellyfish, SpongeBob style. I don't know what SpongeBob style jellyfish is. I was just going to do a cartoony, generic, I guess a moon jelly. I don't know. I don't really know much about jellyfish. I was going to do like the classic blobby head, scrungly inside, tenderly edges. Glow in the dark jellyfish. That's a fun idea. I do have glow in the dark taco from Hollow Taco. Let me grab that. Okay. What's the dopey jellyfish? The fuck is the dopey jellyfish? What are you talking about? Did I didn't do my thumb yet, did I? I did not top coat my thumb. I top coated everything else. Stardew Valley Midnight Jellies. I forget what those look like. It's been too many years. It's been literal years since I have played Stardew Valley. I did very briefly try to pick it back up again a couple of years ago, and it just didn't hold me the same way that it did when I was initially playing. I think probably because when I was playing originally, I was playing on PC, and when I tried to pick it back up again, it was on the iPad, and the iPad experience for Stardew Valley is not great. So I found myself too annoyed with the controls So I just stopped. Okay. I'm going to need white. And I think I have all the colors I'm going to need for this already out. Melissa P., you're always playing it? Yeah, I think I just got way too annoyed with it on the iPad. Hey, how are we gonna do this? Bubble, 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 bubble. Switch is okay, mobile is rough, yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of games like that people have like ported to iPad that have just been like, in my opinion, a miserable playing experience. Like, yeah, okay, you ported it, but you ported it in a way that is just like almost hostile to the player. It's just like, ugh, I hate it. So games like that, for me, I'd rather just skip it. Okay, we'll do one bubble there. We'll do one bubble up here. Cover the major bubbles in the fluid art. And then add a few more that are distributed in a way that makes sense, hopefully. Okay, so bloop, bloop, bloop. A song that I have in my head a lot lately is one that some of you might know. I suspect a lot of you would not know, but it is John Jacob Jingleheimer Smith. His name is my name too. And I have it in my head a lot of the time lately because Timony Cricket likes to come into the bathroom when I go in to go pee. And then I sing Timony Tinkle Helper Cricket. His name is my name too. And yes, that's wildly stupid, but it does make me happy. Barney. What is Barney? We're talking about the best spouses in Stardew Valley. That song haunts me. Whenever we go out, the people always shout. Yeah, exactly. It's a great song. It's not, but it does live rent-free in my head. And I don't have any choice over that. So all right. That looks a bit bubblish. We'll take it. I think our cats would be best friends, but I don't really have anything to back this up. I mean, that's reasonable. Timony wants to be friends with literally everybody. Every cat, every human. I told y'all about my birthday party, right? He was like working the crowd. He was just so happy to have so many people around. He was like, this is great. It took him a whole hot minute and a half to reconcile himself to having a bunch of people in the house. And then he was like, well, if it's going to be a party, I know who the entertainment's going to be. Yeah, I know Barney is a show about a purple dinosaur that teaches you the power of friendship. Oh, the song was on Barney. I've never watched Barney aside from there was like one episode that I remember Carmen, when Carmen was a baby, she would demand that that one specifically be put on. But then she was like scared of one of the characters in it. I can't remember if it was like a mad scientist or a pirate or something. Anyway, some sort of character that she found absolutely terrifying. And so she would demand that the episode be played and then like be really enjoying it and then get close to the part where the scary person came, and then she would start getting more and more worked up before the character even came on screen because she knew he was coming. And so she'd get more and more upset, but she didn't want you to stop it. And so it's really weird. That's the only Barney that I have been exposed to because I am too old otherwise. Anyway, kids are weird. All right. There we go. Get a little highlight right there. There we go. You had one nightmare about Barney turning into the T-Rex from Jurassic Park and your child self was too scared to watch the show ever again? Does she like horror now? I'm not sure if she likes horror, to be honest. I should ask her. I don't think we've ever really discussed movies. Okay. I'm basically just using thinner to like remove polish from the center of the bubbles while leaving a little bit of a wash. So I did the outline and then soften the outline with a wash and then remove most of the middle, but leave it sort of softly there. And then add a highlight. That's basically my approach to bubbles as a general rule. Is it the best approach to bubbles? I don't know, but it's the one that I have worked out that doesn't piss me off too much usually. I usually feel okay about the results of it, so, you know? You found Barney annoying, but you didn't. You think you didn't find out about him until you were older. Yeah, I mean, Barney didn't even exist when I was anywhere near an age that I would be interested in in consuming Barney content. Barbie, Jesus. So it was not designed for adults and teenagers. So let's try and break this down with a little bit of acetone. Because I had way too much there. Okay, and this one as well. You only remember the cleanup song and party of the theme song? Aqua Teen Hunger Force is a fever dream? Yes. You got your Holo Taco today. So excited to swatch them and compare with your Cirque jellies. Well, there you go. You'll have to let us know what you think. It seems like the reviews are a little bit mixed from what I've been seeing, but I suspect it's going to somewhat depend on your attitude toward jellies to begin with, and what you want in a jelly. So I feel like if you saw what was on offer and went, yes, that looks like the right kind of jelly for me, then you're probably going to be real happy with them. I have been longing for a brand to do something like the old Fair Maiden Tinties, which are, of course, no longer available. There was a brief period after I got into indies, but before I quite understood the utility of jellies, of super clear jelly like that, where they were still available. So in theory, I could have got them. But yeah, like I said, I didn't really quite have a good sense of how they could be useful to me. And so I skipped them at the time. And now, of course, they are no longer available and nobody has a rainbow set. Like, there's the occasional jelly that is similar to them, but nobody has a rainbow set like that. That's like a cohesive, full set of like non-cloudy, super clear, but also highly pigmented jellies. And I would love to have one of those for nail art. Specifically for like just layering over stuff when I literally want just a tint of color without muddying up anything underneath. And there is nothing on the market that I have seen. I mean, there's stuff in the gel market that's perfect, except it's gel. All right, this one is not cooperating as well, but I think I'm just going to call it. You like jam more than jelly? Yeah, for wearing, I prefer more of a slightly opaque jelly that's like bordering on crelly, like a milky jelly, which I think the Holo Taco ones are more. Excuse me. The Holo Taco ones are more like that. They're just a tiny bit milky. So for wearing, I would like that, like to put nail art on top of. And it, it's still sheer enough that it would be good, that it's obviously good for jelly sandwiches and stuff. But I already have things that are similar to that sort of scratch that itch for me. I don't have anything that is quite like the Tinties, though. Oh, that was too much. All right, we're going to have to rework this bubble again. I'm like trying to like get the balance right between the highlight and the low light in these tiny bubbles, and it's so fucking hard to do. I keep shooting past it in one direction or the other. All right, let's just hollow that out a little bit and then go back in. I think because I freehand nail art and love to do things like stained glass reverse stamping and using them to tint magnetics or use them with chrome powder. Yeah, that's how I would like to be able to use them, but I need them to be crystal clear for that. And I feel for my taste, the hollow taco is not quite crystal clear enough, and also not quite pigmented enough. And there's not a full rainbow. So it's not quite hitting the mark for me personally. It's close, but it's not quite there. Like, I literally want them to look like Jell-O. All right, I am happy with these bubbles. Now we have to work on this jellyfish. Musumbi is snoring. What a cutie. What a good kitty. Okay, so similar technique, I think, for the jellyfish. Well, no, actually, because I want to do more of the sticker style, right? So, although, if I just do it in white, I could do it more in this style, and I think it would work just fine. That's maybe an option. If I use only white, I could make it basically like kind of translucent. That could work. Sinuses. They really love to do a number on me, these sinuses. All right. Just trying to work in a little bit of the more milky, cloudy part first. And then, yeah, because if I do, ooh, all right, I think this could work really well. Because if I do this as like that central bit, sort of follow that dark swirl. All right. Yeah, I feel like this could work. I hear the stirrings of a cat. Oh. I think he's found the cricket. Did the cricket come out? It did. Oh, yeah. He's got it. He's playing. He's having a good time. good boy. Such a good little hunter. You posted a yay, they're coming today, but boo, it's not a full rainbow celebration / rant on the Holo Taco chat thread in their Discord. Chris said green looks bad as a full nail. You know, I don't disagree with her necessarily. However, how does Chris, of all people, not recognize the nail art people and the utility of that for nail art? Like, I know that she has to think about the bottom line. She does. That is absolutely fair. She has to think about the bottom line. She has to think about what's going to sell. You know, she's got mouths to feed. But also, it feels like she's just not interested in what nail artists want at all. And that to me feels some kind of way, given her background. Like, not to say, you know, don't make the stuff that's popular, but why not both? You know, can we also have some things sometimes that aren't just about what is going to look nice as a full manicure and what's going to like sell to the mainstream market? You know? I don't know. Makes me feel some kind of way when I think about it. It's fine. It's fine. There are lots of other brands who are catering more to that market. What? Manga? Are you talking about the cricket? Did he get away? Yeah, she hasn't done nail art, I think, in a good long time. Yeah, she ranted about companies not selling cool polishes for nail artists and then became what she hated. Yep. Did you kill your toy? Are you going to eat your toy now? Great. Love that for him. Okay. Yeah. I'm just going to bring it back to the nails. We don't need to watch him actually eat the cricket. I can hear him. Can you hear him? He makes the funniest noises when he eats. He's like he literally makes the cartoon eating noises when he eats. It fucking cracks me up. He'll go over to the water fountain and he'll take a couple of licks of water. He'll be like, and then he'll go and then go and get one more lick and then go. Fucking kills me. Cat is so goddamn funny. Okay. I felt like I was losing too much of the background, so I wanted to bring some more in there. Yummy bug protein. Yeah, it is delicious. He should be in cocads. Yeah. Kid cracks me up all the time. Yeah, it's the It's the little smacking noises. It's so funny. I've never had another cat that has made those little smacking noises. It's really good. All right. I feel that this is not going to do a good job. I want a different... Maybe this brush would do a better job. All right. Not too much of a bubble there. Getting that little bubble. Gotta get rid of that. All right. I feel like this is kind of working. What do we think? Yeah, she clearly doesn't keep an eye on the indies anymore. Someone asked about a snowflake topper, and she said, I don't think a snowflake shape would work if it's small enough to be in a topper. And yeah, they exist. Oh, the smacking is cute when animals do it and disgusting and enraging when humans do it. Yeah, I don't know why that is. But if a human being is in front of me going, I might punch you. There's a chance I might punch you. But if a kitty is doing it, adorable. Okay, do a little pure white highlight in a couple of spots. Just to try to get a little bit more texture happening here. There we go. All right, I think I'm happy. I think we're done, y'all. Don't know how who feels about henna. What if they're smacking and have leftover food on their plate? Listen, I don't care about the leftover food if I don't have to touch it. People can have any amount of leftover food on their plate that they want if I don't have to touch it. Leftover food is only gross if I have to touch it. Okay. I really need to oil all of these. I have been somewhat derelict lately in my duties. This one gets oiled a lot, but the others don't tend to get oiled as often. I need to do a top coat on those two nails. It is blue Bada-bee, Bada-ba, or whatever the hell. Dabba-dee, whatever, however the song goes. I can never remember it. It's Dabba-dee, right? Whatever. Another thing that I was too old for and came to significantly later. Never mind that I was too old. Really, it was just that I was not engaging with music at that time. Other hand, nah. I did a bunch of swatching today, and And I'm ready to go eat some food and then probably play a video game for a little while. Yeah, I'm sure that Sassy is correct about how it goes. I just, my brain wasn't reading it properly. So I was struggling. Before the internet existed. Listen, don't you make fun of me being an elder human. I cannot teleport them to your fingers. I'm sorry. First, they are currently in use by me. I forgot about the glow-in-the-dark taco. Y'all. When I was a poor student, I knew nothing but school. I didn't do school until I was 30, though, Ray. I mean, not uni, anyway. It was, and I wasn't actually poor when I was in uni. I was actually reasonably comfortable for the first time in my fucking life. No, I was basically, I was poor, but I was working as a bike courier for a while and a barista for a while and then a bike mechanic for a while. And there were a lot of years where I didn't have a computer, didn't feel the need for a computer. I didn't have a radio. I didn't have a TV. I rode my bike. I read books. So, yeah. All right. So let's get some glow in the dark happening here. I can't believe y'all let me forget the glow in the dark. Like, what happened there? And yeah, I am blaming you. You're the chat. You're in charge of the brain. You're the ones that suggested it. And then you let me forget it. How are you going to go and do a thing like that? Should I make the bubbles glow in the dark as well, or just the jelly? Just the jelly, right? I think just the jelly. No, university era was a black hole for me as well, but it wasn't. It happened later for me in my timeline. Although I think I actually was more connected when I was going to university because I was actually on Twitter at that point. I did have a laptop, and I had Twitter when I went to university. Bold of you to assume I have a brain. Hey, Denny. You were distracted by Masumbi. There's a lot of excuses in chat for why you first demanded glow-in-the-dark jelly and then forgot to remind me. Failed. Neglected your duties as chat to remind me to put the glow-in-the-dark on. A lot of excuses. Danny, you are personally not being held responsible for chat's failure because you arrived too late. You have, however, come too late for most of the nail art. I'll give you a kitty who is 1 year old today, who is hoping there might be a second cricket somewhere under there. Yeah, Chad out here dropping the ball. How dare. Are you dry enough? Okay, let's go ahead and do that. Yeah, we managed to successfully water marble. For some definitions of success. And and then because I had a couple of dings, primarily I had a massive ding on my index nail, and then I had several bubbles on my middle nail, and so those were resolved with judicious application of nail art. So I painted bubbles and a jellyfish. You were in charge of bubbles. Belly, good work. You had to chase Musumbi to clean him? Oh no. Why? What did he have on himself? Why did he require cleaning? You did some reverse stamping for your non-dominant hand. A candle and a rose to see Phantom of the Opera tomorrow. Oh my goodness. Well, that is exciting. I saw Phantom many, many, many years ago in theater, and it certainly had an impact on me. I will say that. It was Musumbi's 1-year anniversary of arrival to the neighborhood this week. Oh, that's exciting too. Danny, you missed the excitement with Timony. He located a cricket, stalked it carefully for a good chunk of time, and then finally managed to catch and eat it. It was all very exciting. Chat got the cat cam maximized, but then I minimized it again when he started eating it because I felt like nobody really needed to see that. But yeah, it's an exciting birthday experience for him. Although, to be fair, he does catch crickets with some regularity around here because, of course, they occasionally escape as I am loading fresh deliveries of crickets into the bin. Yeah, he really enjoys eating crickets. They're the best snack food and also the most entertaining toy. So yeah, I mean, anybody who's a pet owner has watched their pet eat something gross. But I do feel like maybe we don't need to all watch it when somebody else's pet eats something gross. I feel like it's okay for us to just skip that. You know? Dinner and a show. You've shown Erwin eating hornworms and dubias on stream. That's different, though, I feel. Because that's like... I don't know why that's different. Here's the thing. I personally don't find anything like that gross, ever. But there are people who do, and I tend to be sensitive to their issues. I don't like what my kitties catch. The house geckos get in. Oh, that's so sad. You've seen Bebe and Nooktu take down mice. Budgie almost got a mouse once, but then she wasn't sure what to do with it, and so it escaped. Because our last apartment had mice. But she did, despite being an indoor cat her entire life, she did manage to murder 2 birds, protected species. Like, illegal for me to own their little corpses. So yeah, she managed to kill... Well, one of them was a protected species. The other one was someone's pet. She killed a canary that came in. It was like a fancy canary that flew in our window, and she somehow managed to nab it and kill it. I never did manage to track down the owner, even though it had a band. It had a leg band. And I looked in all the local places, and nobody said anything about missing a canary. And then the other one was a protected species is chimney swift, which from the name you might think that they're very fast, agile flyers, swift. And indeed, they're known for being incredible flyers. So the fact that Budgie was able to, she actually caught 2 of them on separate days. I think they were nesting or trying to build a nest in the back area of our apartment. And it was a converted warehouse. It was a whole thing. Anyway, yeah, she injured one and killed the other. I got home and there was just a dead bird in my house. And I had to call the museum and be like, hey, do you want a bird for your collection? Would you like a bird corpse for your collection? And indeed they did. She is a criminal. It's true. Your old English Cocker Spaniel Blossom caught and murdered a baby sparrow. Oh, God. They are hunters. These little sweet babies that we keep in our home, they are predators. They evolved to murder small things and eat them. Danny feeding the beardy, or is it a beardy? Irwin's a beardy, right? It's a reward on Twitch and you give lots of warning beforehand. Yeah, I do feel like that's a very different, if I'm gonna show something that I know people are sensitive to and there's an opportunity to be like, hey, this is going to happen, here's your warning that this is going to happen. If you stay here watching for the next couple of minutes, you are opting in to experiencing this. So I do feel like that's a different kind of thing altogether than just suddenly having a cat surprise munching on a cricket. I don't know. Okay, we're done. We're done, y'all. Irwin is a beardy. Yeah, okay, I thought so. Yeah, I used to have an indoor-outdoor cat that would hunt voles as well. Well, your feet are basically voles. I'm fairly certain. Your dog Raver chased cats like he knew what they tasted like. Hopefully they don't taste that good. I don't know. I don't feel like they would taste very good. I think in general, things that eat animals and things that eat fish especially don't taste good to me. Maybe that's just me. There's a quality to them that I often dislike. But I haven't tasted cat or dog, so I don't know. You called the cricket a snack earlier and you thought cricket was trying to make you a liar. No, he loves to eat a cricket. He's had many snacks today, though. He's, the birthday boy got spoiled rotten. So we gave him, a churu tube. And then Brian was like, well, I better give some to the other cats as well. And so, started serving out for the other cats. And then, Timony had already finished his while the other cats were about to be served. And Timony was like, where's mine? So I was like, let's just give him a second one. It's his birthday. It's fine. It's like 2 calories or whatever. It's not a big deal. So yeah, so he got those, and then he also got afternoon the crunchy treats. They do Temptations in the afternoon, so he got to have those as well. So he has had no lack of delicious treats today, and apparently, Cricket's top tier. You gave Zane some early GABA and prep for his vet appointment on Saturday. You know, it's sad that he needs that. I've had some kitties like that just get so stressed out, either about the travel or about the experience itself. It's always sad when your pets are so stressed out, and it's like I have to do the thing. If it was up to me, I wouldn't do the thing, but the thing needs to be done, or bad things can happen to you. So, what are you gonna do? Hopefully he is chill. Anyway, that's it for tonight. Tuesday. Do I have plans for Tuesday's stream? I don't think so. I don't think I have plans for Tuesday's stream. Someone made a suggestion in Discord. What was that? Oh, it was something I'd never heard of, but it involved space. So maybe, I don't know, maybe we can do a Space Nails thing. I don't know, we can figure something out. The worst is they stress you out, and then you being stressed stresses them out. Yeah, totally. Happy Cappy pills. Yeah. Yeah, Budgie is a very anxious cat as well. But she's okay as long as Jammy is with her. So as long as she doesn't have to go to the vet by herself. So if all she's doing is their annual visit, then they go together. Budgie crawls underneath Jammy. So there's like a towel in the base of the carrier. Jammy will be on top of the towel and Budgie will be underneath the towel. And she's completely fine like that. But if she has to go alone, she is fucking panicking. She's losing her mind if Jammy isn't in there with her. Project Hail Mary, that's what it was. Yeah, I'd never heard of it. But Space Nails sound fun, so maybe I'll do that. Unless someone comes up with another more timely or whatever Manny idea. But yeah, we could maybe do some Space Nails. That could be a good time. I always enjoy doing Space Nails. And then next Thursday is, I think, going to be the new Prism Parade collection swatch and review. So, which she started teasing today, and I think swatches start to drop tomorrow. Thank you, Belly. Okay, that's it. Do the thing, press the buttons, tell your friends about the hippopotamus, etc. And we'll see you next time. Goodbye.